the surrounding, sacrifices, and how sacrifices were salted, and we making our bodies a living sacrifice, the on a spiritual level, the same principle applies. So, not going to be anything too long, but just hopefully this is edifying and exhorting to the Akim. Starting off with Romans 12 and 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Alright, so we have been bidden to perform a service, and to perform that service we have to make our bodies a living sacrifice, meaning to be completely devoted and dedicated to this service. Right? Verse 2 says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Alright, and part of that is what? To be transformed. Alright, but seeing that we are making our bodies a living sacrifice, let's see what Yahushua said about the sacrifices. Alright, so this is the book of Mark, chapter 9 and verse 49. This is Yahushua speaking, as you see the writing is in red. It says, for everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Alright, so let's see what this word salted means. Alright, there's the Greek word for it. Alright, it says to salt, season with salt, sprinkle with salt. And when we go down here, right, it says the sacrifice is sprinkled with salt, thus rendered acceptable to the Heavenly Father. Right, so part of, when you read through the laws, and certain sacrifices were done, a part of it was to ensure that it was that salt was added, and tells you what amount of salt. Right, now jumping down a bit, it says every Christian, meaning those who are in the truth, those who are following after Yahweh, right? It says every true Christian is rendered ripe for holy and happy association with God in His kingdom by fire, by the pain of afflictions, which if in all right. So it also should bring to mind the book of Sirach. If acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity, right? Actually, mom may get that as well. All right, so going back, so that is the word salted. Greek word for fire is there. It says, on every sacrifice with salt shall be salted. All right, shall be salted with salt. So there are two different words for salted here. Hold on, Slack. I know that's the same word, but I'm gonna go to the next verse. Let's look on the word sacrifice right here. I don't remember seeing anything here. Alright, it says down here at the end, it says, in work of enticing, nourishing, increasing your faith, as if in providing a sacrifice to be offered. So, us making our living body a sacrifice and being conformed to this world, I'm not being conformed to this world, being conformed to Yahweh Shai, and going through this purging process, being nourished in the spirit, being salted, is becoming acceptable unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright? Now, let's go to the next verse. Verse 50 says, salt is good, but if the salt has lost his saltness, Salakia, but if the salt has lost his saltness, wherewith will ye season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another. Alright, so explaining the the benefits of salt, asking what's the purpose of the salt, if it's not there. And it says, have salt within yourself and peace among one another. Right, so let's take a little look on this. Right, the word salt is there. It's a different word than what's in verse 49. Alright, it says, salt with which food is seasoned and sacrifices are sprinkled. Right, second definition, those kinds of saline matter used to fertilize arable land. Right, I don't know what the word arable means. Let me check. Fit or used for growing crops. So pretty much land that is can be used to farm. Right? So they used to sprinkle, they used to do that as well, apparently. Gonna take a look into that as well, to get some more context at a later date. Brothers can also look it up for themselves. Right? The third definition says salt is a symbol of lasting concord because it protects food from putrefaction, meaning going bad, right, and preserves it unchanged. All right, so that's another thing that salt does, protect food from spoiling or from being, putrefied, and preserves it unchanged, right? Accordingly, in solemn ratification of compacts, this is a practice that continues to this day in some cultures, partaking of salt together, right? And it says wisdom and grace exhibited in speech. This is making reference to Colossians, where it says that your speech be seasoned with salt. So let's go down here a bit. I think down here there was something added. No, yeah, that was it for the word salt. So going back, right? So it says salt is good, but if the salt lost its saltness, let's check on this word. Salted, insipid. Let's check on this word seasoned as well. Seasoned to make savory, right? So it says have salt in yourself, which is the same word. So okay, I'm just it's a bit scattered here. Right, having yourself salt and have peace. So it's the same Hebrew word, Greek word, Salakia, and where it says have peace with one another, right? It says make peace, cultivate, or keep peace, harmony, right? So we should actually be preserved within ourselves, being made acceptable within ourselves, being nourished, right, with the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and through the affliction, and going through that, being salted with that fire, as us being sacrifices, being made acceptable unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, being preserved, right, while also being in harmony with each other, right? And if you should read up more in the chapter, pretty much what the ending of these two last verses, were pretty much the end of the conversation of the disciples asking who would be greatest among them, you know. And pretty much, Yahushua went into a few things, but this part pretty much caught my eye, and I decided to do a quick lesson on it, right? So I'll just read the verse, the two verses again. It says, Salakia. I'm gonna read one verse after this. But just a quick recap. Mark 9 verse 49. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltness, wherewith will ye season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another. Right? And I'm just gonna get the book of Sirach, chapter 2. Where am I? Right, so Sirach chapter 2 verse 1, it says, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, make not haste in time of trouble. Right, this is going into what? Being salted with fire. It says, Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Alright? So, we're going through, we're being salted with fire. And if I remember correctly, I think one of these, the word salt, in one of these commentary, there was a reference to the book of Sirach, right? Sirach 39 and 26. Let me just check that real quickly. "39 and what was that? 39 and 26. The principle for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt. So just showing the importance of salt again. Flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grapes, and of it, and oil, slakia, and clothing. So yeah, that's that. Hey, we are all being salted with fire, but remember the purpose of the salt, right? Being acceptable unto Yahweh Shemashai, being preserved. The meat being preserved. Also, it being nourishing, and it being, being made a good savor, tasting good, so we want to make ourselves, acceptable as we are, and as these sacrifices are being salted with fire, but we also have, salt within ourselves. Alright, so hopefully this was edifying. Once we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shemel Shai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word now, sincerity and truth. Sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.